In this video, I am going to show you how the new innovative software we have developed works, and the software we are calling Virtual Supervisor. That is a software that is used to monitor the tasks that employees are assigned to do, whether they are working remotely, which is the new trend that is gaining ground, or they are working from the office. And for the employees also, it is of much use because it compares the work of two employees and see who is working better than the other, who needs to be promoted, and who needs to be added more tasks so that they are not idling most of the time in the office. That is to check on their productivity, and also when they work overtime, it shows. So we will see just what it is capable of doing as we go on. So the first step, of course, is to install the software, and you can download it from the link that is now on the screen, github.com/signup. That's github.com/signup, and Virtual Supervisor releases. Go right there, you go to releases, you download the software. But as I had downloaded it, I will just cancel this, and then I will run the software that I downloaded. What information is this? Run anyway. Yeah, run anyway. So it has installed and it has run it for the first time. I have packaged it such that when it installs and it runs. So I will show you where it has installed, and then I show you how it has been able to run it. So if we go here to our start menu, we see Virtual Supervisor has been installed here. And if you go to the control panel as well and check the softwares that you have, we will see Virtual Supervisor is here, installed today. The size and the name and the version, Virtual Supervisor version 0.0.1, which is a proof of concept version. So if we go to the task manager, we will see also that Virtual Supervisor is here running, but I will stop it first and then run it manually. So if I run Virtual Supervisor manually here, you will notice what comes up. So you'll notice that there's an icon that comes and disappears. I really don't know why. Virtual Supervisor, if I run a second one, there's the tray icon. Let me close this thing again. When I run it, this tray icon ought to be there all the time. So let me try stopping it and running it again, and then Virtual Supervisor, there are several instances. Then I run again Virtual Supervisor, and the tray icon comes. Let me hope it will not disappear. Yes, it has now not disappeared. So that is still some work to something to work on. I don't know why sometimes it comes and disappears, as this is the proof of concept that is acceptable. Now Virtual Supervisor, when it starts, let me just start that again to demonstrate how it works. So Virtual Supervisor closed, then I open Virtual Supervisor again, and our tray icon comes there. So when the Virtual Supervisor opens, the tray icon should be there. And one more thing, when you go to your startup here, you will see that virtual supervisor is there. That means every time we start the computer, virtual supervisor will also be started. So the employee does not need to manually start it. It will start by itself. So what does it do? When it starts, this is just here to as a documentation or a write-up of how the virtual supervisor operates. But now when it starts, we need to select the task that I'm working on, because it says you are currently not working on any task. Please select one below, and then I select the task that I'm working on, the project, and the project has a task. So like I select a random project signage, tells me am I working on the system, building the simulation, etc. Say I'm now building the API, and then I click done. So now I'm working on a task. Now I woke up in my house and I've chosen that at this time I am working. What happens when I stop that work? I have shown how to start a task or a project. So what happens if I start idling? Oh, it has brought a notification that is, I'm going to show you ahead. Let me open an application that is I am allowed to use. For example, Chrome. That is, if you go to let me close that and then restore it again. If I go to forbidden, here I am allowed to use any of these applications: Explorer, Microsoft Word, Chrome, Firefox, Edge, which are things that we've just had coded there for the proof of concept. So assuming I open Chrome, which I'm allowed to use, I'm here on Chrome, but I'm doing nothing. And let's count: 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Sorry, I am on virtual supervisor. It was on virtual supervisor. I need to close this virtual supervisor so that it doesn't pop up, and I go to Chrome. I go to Chrome right there. Close this again, and I am sure I am on Chrome. So now on Chrome, then I count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. It says your computer has been idle for 10 seconds going up. This incident will be reported. So I cannot say I'm working and sit there doing nothing. The software will notice I'm doing nothing and will count how long to the accuracy of 1 second I'm doing nothing and report the same. How is that time controlled? If I go to settings right here and I check maximum idle time to log, now I've set it to 10 seconds. I can set it to 5. Now these features are controlled from here because this is the proof of concept. Otherwise they will need to be controlled from an online cloud platform. So again, let me go to Chrome. I'm right on Chrome here. I have set the time to 5 seconds. I count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and right there it is. It's telling me. So depending on the time that is set, you can allow your employee to be idle for 1 minute, 5, 10 before it starts reporting how long they have been idle for. That means if the time is set to 1 minute, I am idle for 59 seconds, it ignores that period. Now, of course, as a human being, there are times when you will need to just sit and do nothing and have some rest. So that is allowed depending on, that setting is flexible depending on how you want it to be. Let's continue opening illegal programs. So once again, let me go to the tray icon here and restore our program. We close and restore so that it may come to the front. Illegal programs, that is forbidden. So it opened logs, forbidden. Am I doing the right thing? Again, seems to be an issue right there. Settings, open settings, fine. Logs, open logs. Okay, sorry. Projects and tasks. I forbidden, sorry, I was clicking on the wrong thing. Project, that is forbidden. So, and we're talking about opening illegal programs that are not allowed. Now, as you can see, for example, PowerPoint is not allowed. So if I open PowerPoint, I have said I'm working, and these are the programs that I'm allowed to use for that particular project. But I go to my PowerPoint here, and again, for how many seconds? Let's count: 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and it says an application PowerPoint that is not allowed during working hours has been opened. This incident will be reported. Stop the current task to close this message if you want to continue using your PowerPoint. So if I want to use my application, then I should not say I am working. I should go here to tasks. I should go to tasks and say stop task. And once I've stopped task, I can continue working on my application as much as I want. And you see, that is faithfulness. Now, I will not be saying I was working on task A while I was on my PowerPoint. And if I want to continue working on the paid hours, I go back to start task and restore and start task, and I choose the task I'm working on. Now let's say now I'm working on a different task altogether. Say I'm working on my Bible translation and I'm building the API. So right there, I'm building the API. I can now continue working on my task. Again, the illegal programs, as you can see, there's a time setting for them. That is minimum wrong application time to log. If I use a wrong application for more than, or for at least rather, this period of time, then it will log the same. It will warn me and put it in the logs. Now let's go and check if I'm opening files that are not required for the project. Assuming, for example, I am using Microsoft Word, which I am allowed to use. I'm allowed to use Microsoft Word. I can open 2 files here to demonstrate. So I can open that, and I can also open this. So Microsoft Word, I'm allowed to use it, but let's check and see. You've opened a file, so I go here to Word, and it tells me I have opened this file that I'm not allowed to use. So I close this and go again to my Word application, and it tells me this file issues autorecover.docx. That is this one. It is a file that is irrelevant to the current project. How about if I go to another file here, notes on Obadiah. Now notes on Obadiah, no notification comes up. So again, these are settings that I just quickly put into the program. See here, it only notices my idleness, but it doesn't notice my wrong application, my wrong file rather, my file. So my file here, I am allowed to use it. So again, when I'm working on that project and that project has specific files, it will notice when I'm working on the project and when I'm doing my own things. Now if I go back to issues and I am doing my own things, there it has been noticed. And then if I am browsing illegal sites, now illegal sites of course will be such sites as YouTube. Employees may not be allowed to use at working hours. No notification because I am active, I'm typing, I'm scrolling, etc. And I am on an application that is allowed. But suppose I open youtube.com, it has been flagged right here. I go to facebook.com, a site Facebook that you're not allowed to use, and I go to Twitter. I'm not allowed to use Twitter. I go to Instagram, again, site that you're not allowed to use. So these sites again are in this list right here. When you go to when I go to forbidden, and these sites are here, you can put as many sites as you want. And what are the insights that this program will help us to gain? Let us check. Sorry, let me end this. Then let us check what this thing will help us to. The insight it will help us gain by going to the logs. So the logs, you select how many days you want to query there. I'm seeing logs for third. Let me try logs for third. And it's telling me my system was booted or rebooted on third. I installed this thing just right now, and it knows by calculating how long the system has been up when I booted or I started my computer. Let's go to the logs for today, and it gives us all this: wrong application, Winward. I need to modify this a bit so that it says not wrong application but wrong file, because now when I use a wrong file on Word, it will record also that as a wrong application. So when I'm using a wrong application, it will record it there, and how long I use that wrong application, that is the idle time. It also records if I open a wrong file on a right application, but I open a wrong file. And it also, let me remove these user tasks so that it can help us a bit. Wrong application, wrong file, wrong file, wrong application, wrong application. And of course, it ought to have logged also the wrong site. It also ought to have logged as well the wrong site. It seems I haven't put how to query that wrong site now, because for now we have just boot, program start, program restart, wrong application, wrong files, user tasks, resume, shutdown, lock screen, unlock screen, suspend, etc. Yeah, so I need to add that so that it also brings here. Of course, if we go to where this is saved, if I go to the user, right here, where do I find the user? Let me try C, and then users, and then here, and then I go to virtual supervisor right here, task monitor, and I go to logs. So the logs for today, let me open it with pod, and then I check wrong site. You see wrong site is here. There's a log for wrong site here, which is saying Instagram, etc. There's another for Twitter. There's another for Twitter. So there's that is ending there. There's that for Twitter right there. So what is missing here is just pulling them here. I think is an oversight that I had. So all the things where there's a notification will be logged here. Now we can also go to user tasks, and this will user tasks, and this will show me all the tasks that I was doing throughout the day, that the employee was doing throughout the day. So on the project Bible translation and the task API, the user was working from this time to this time, but he was idle for this time. So the productivity can loosely be calculated as some function of how long this person was working over a function of that and his idle time. So assuming two employees have exactly the same task, you'll notice that one will be working over some duration of time, but one may be idle for more than the other. Again, we can check for the same duration of time who has produced more than the other. So that is how the software works in brief as a proof of concept. Now the next step will be to integrate it with an online cloud platform such as ERP. Thank you.